There's been a lot of action in the tennis courts, but there's also been some action away from the tennis courts. I am delighted to be joined from Melbourne by men's singles world number 4 and Red Bull athlete Stefanos Tsitsipas. Certain players and people like you are all global icons. You're sort of role models for the younger generation. Considering that, do you feel that Djokovic has sort of set a wrong example by admitting to breaching COVID rules?
Breaching? Well, for sure, he has been playing by his own rules and has been doing something that not many players had the guts to go and do, especially after ATP announced certain criteria for players to enter the country. No one would have really thought, I can just come to Australia unvaccinated and not having to follow the protocols that they gave me, which is just, it takes a lot of daring to do, I think, and putting a Grand Slam kind of at risk. Which is, again, I don't think many players would do that. I chose to go and be 100% ready for whatever was to come and not having to think about anything else. For me, it worked that way. For Novak, it worked another way. That doesn't really mean that my way is the right one and his way is the wrong one. It's just each person's perception about it.
Okay, fair enough. And as you said in the beginning as well, it's the way you want to approach the situation. But 3-4 days before the tournament begins, Australians clearly don't want him to play over there. Where does the tennis community stand on there? Should Novak Djokovic defend his title, considering the questions that are circling around in world sport?
Well, there are two ways to look at it. I'll tell you. One way is every single player, almost, the stats say that 98% of the players have been vaccinated and did what they had to do in order to come and perform and play in Australia. So one side of it is, we've all kind of followed the protocols in order to compete in Australia, and we've been very disciplined in that part. And in the other sense, I'd say that, it kind of seems like not everyone is playing kind of by the rules of how Tennis Australia or some governments have been putting things. And each and single one of a very small majority of that percentage chose to follow their own way, which kind of makes the rest, the majority makes the majority look like I don't know, like they're all fools or something.
Okay, going through your sort of social media profiles, I knew to expect a very honest response for you. I won't press you more on this, and I'll move on. You've had some epic duels with Novak Djokovic over the course of your career. Of course, everyone does talk about the French Open final of 2021, and it was your first Grand Slam final. What did that sort of defeat teach you, Stefanos?
It taught me a lot. It taught me that I should never defend too much and I should just be going for it. And perhaps, staying back and kind of overthinking it in ways that, not attacking enough or not really going for it enough, that can sometimes cost you. And that has been the case in that final, after being 2-0 up. I kind of felt like I backed down a little bit. But I also felt like he raised his level a lot in that final. I felt like after taking that break at 2-0, he kind of refreshed himself. I felt like he entered the court kind of in a different mindset, and I saw a different Novak perform from that part of the match on.